Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian is a Weirdo slash Ian is Weird, depending on where you're watching this from. Streaming on both my channels today, and hopefully for the rest of May. So today we are continuing the How Well Do You Know Me series, and we are talking about more like personal things to me. And we can keep this a conversation. Yesterday was super fun because it was all about crochets and yarn, and so it was really just, hey Daniel. So we had a great fun time yesterday. I thought just going through our favorite types of yarn and stuff like that. This is a little bit more based on just kind of like me, but if you want to um, just talk about other things related to you, that's fine too. I really do not care if the conversation veers because it's just about fun. Also, I saw that someone is doing another series. It wasn't a channel I followed, and I immediately forgot it. So good for me. But they did Amigurumi May, and I was like, that's such a better idea than every day in May. Because they were just making amigurumi all month, and I was like, that's fucking smart. Um, so yeah, so let me pull up some questions, and I will start working on my booty frog. Now I'm going to drop the link for the frog that I'm making. Hopefully, is this really long? It looks like it might be really long. Okay, it's actually not that long. Okay. Um, so this is for the, let's see what it's called. So what are you called? You big, beautiful frog. So it's called the No So Cheeky Froggy, easy and beginner friendly. Hey, Cami. So if you want to work alongside me, or you want to do it later, you can work on this very beautiful frog. Now I'm using two yarns, both from the Dollar Tree, and one is the Premier. Both of them are Premier yarns. So this is the Premier Just Chenille yarn in the color lime. Perfect. It's getting a little washed out, but it's pretty bright green, which of course I love. And then because I could not find my pink chenille yarn to save my life, I also, well, it's not just chenille. It's the Dream Chenille, which I actually really hate crocheting with. But I have some pink from like Valentine's Day, like 3 years ago. I don't like making stuff with it, but it's good for accents. So these will be the little cheeks, not the butt cheeks, even though we are making those. This will be the little cheeks on the frog. So let us tomato. Um, so let's see. Okay, so these are questions all about me, but if you want to answer, there's some questions like what's my favorite all-time band? What's my favorite modern band? So if you want to chime in and say your favorite band or whatever, we please feel free, and I'll probably ask unless I'm being an idiot, which is likely. Um, okay, so and also, so feel free to guess along with me. I'll guess when appropriate for you all. Um, so my first question, pretty straightforward question, is how old am I? So if you can guess how old I am, and please don't be like how old you look, because I don't want to get anything that is crazy high and make me feel even worse about how I look. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. I'm using a 6mm hook and a 6-weight yarn. 36. Okay. Okay. So I'm trying to follow along. Any guesses, Daniel? I'll probably never guess your favorite band. Okay, good to know. 2 Chainz, and then I talked about this. Blah, 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 blah. I'm reading closed captioning, so, um, yeah, so I'm a little. 28? Ooh, thank you, Froggy. I know your birthday is 23rd of October, which is correct. Um, don't know your age. Okay, well, I appreciate the 28, Froggy. I am actually 32. So Cammy, you were a little off. I'm not gonna harp on you too much because my ego wasn't bruised too incredibly much. But yes, I am 32, and I turned 33 October 23rd. Okay, let me get my stitch marker and then we'll go on to the next question. Okay, so let me try to guess everyone else's age. And this is just trying to go based on memory, not at all how anyone looks, because none of you look your age. So, congratulations. I guess I don't look my age either, technically. But Cami, I believe you just turned 30, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Daniel, I believe you are a young little baby, and I want to say last time I remember you were 26 and maybe 27 right now. And Froggy, I think that you. Have we ever talked about this? I don't think we have. Um, Froggy, I'm gonna guess that you are 53. Just I'm bad at ages. All of you are timeless to me. Tell me how I did, because I could be very, very wrong. 27 now. Okay, I got one. Yeah. Okay, Froggy, Cammy, how did I do? Okay, so I did 8 single crochets. I'm 970 years old and I look 25. Mombi, I don't know that you. I'm actually pretty sure that you're not 970 years old. I'm just saying. You just turned 54. Oh my gosh, I'm so good at this. So a couple days away. That was a perfect entry to to the conversation. I loved it. I love you. Um, you are close. I'm 32. Okay, so we're actually the same age, pretty much. So, cool. Good to know. Yeah, I remember you being. I thought you were a little younger than me, but I guess that's not the case, and that's okay because I've been wrong once or twice more in my life. Now, Mommy, you do look very young, but I thought I remember you saying something recently about a 40th. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. I was totally wrong about the 40. Okay. You look amazing. So, you all look amazing. So, you make it very hard to guess. I'm 32. If you missed the question, you missed my answer, totally fine. Okay, so this is a very specific answer. And if you have, I feel like I used to talk about it a lot more. I haven't talked about it very recently, although it does come up from time to time. So the next question is kind of specific to me, but why did I pick the name Ian? If you've heard the story, I would hope that it stuck with you. But if you haven't heard the story and you have no idea, totally fine. But it was a very specific reason why I chose the name Ian. In case you didn't know, I did pick my own name, which is very, very hard, I'll have you know. And I have a funny story to accompany that when my a certain member of my family found out why I picked that name. So yes, if you know the first person to get it, because I mean it's gonna be if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But why did I pick the name Ian? I used to talk about this all the time. Ian Fleming is your dream man. Man, I feel like I know the name Ian Fleming, but I have no idea who that is. I definitely have told you, Daniel, but that's okay because both names start with I. That made it easier for sure, and I didn't have to change my signature, which I appreciated. No one else did, but I did. Um, okay, Froggy, it's up to you. Can you remember why I named myself Ian? Um, if you can't, that's fine. Like I said, I have not talked about it in quite a while. So if you don't remember, that's fine. Ian McKellen, that would have actually been a way better reason to name myself Ian. Oh my gosh, me and my wife are obsessed with Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen's relationship, their friendship. Gorgeous. Okay, so the reason I named myself Ian was a far less famous reason than Ian McKellen. There's a character on the US version of the show Shameless named Ian. First of all, the actor that plays him is gorgeous, redhead, tall, built, gorgeous. Um, Cameron Monaghan is delish. And also, he's gay. He's bipolar. He just like there's a lot in common with that character that I have. Beautiful story arc with him, and you remember now. Beautiful story arc with him and his eventual husband. Sorry if I spoiled it. I've given you a couple years, so if you haven't watched it by now, I guess the spoiling, it's fair game now. Um, but he has just did a really good job at portraying bipolar disorder and honored it, didn't make it into like a joke or everything. Also, just was openly queer and just like lived his life and didn't give a shit what anybody thought, which was really just it. The whole his whole portrayal of the character was just gorgeous. So Ian fit well. I did have another vowel name that started with an E before this, and it just didn't fit me at all. Um, so when I first picked a name, I just didn't like it. When people called me that, I was like, I don't love it. And I thought it was just because I needed to get used to it. Turns out I never got used to it. It just wasn't the right name for me. But Ian fit like a glove immediately, almost. So that's what inspired the name Ian. And like he's also very smart. I don't know if he's very smart, but he's also like a little dumb and pretty silly. So I just love the character. It's really good. Okay, so now we're gonna get into different. I just named a song. I'm just named after a song by the Hollies, Jennifer Apples. Ooh, I will have to check that out. So my original name was after my grandmother who had passed before. I think I might have known that, Daniel, but I wasn't totally sure. But yeah, so I was named after my grandmother who had passed before I was born. And I'm thinking of getting a portrait tattoo of her because she was beautiful, and I heard she was like one of the nicest people to have ever existed. I never got to meet her, so I want to honor her, but also not put that name anywhere on my body. You know what I mean? So family names are important, and I want to honor that, but I also do not want that name. My dad does have my dead name tattooed on him because he got it tattooed before I transitioned. So anyways, so here's the funny story. So when I have an aunt who's a little loony tunes, and I think we all have an aunt like that, or an uncle, or somebody. 3, 4. So when I changed my name to Ian, she was like, well, and like I changed my name from her mom's name, right? So this was important. Why I picked my name was important to her. I get it. I understand. But it just wasn't the name for me. And so she was asking, what made why'd you pick the name Ian? And I told her, like, very briefly the story of naming it after a TV show character. And she was so infuriated. She was like, you named yourself after a TV character. And I was like, yeah, I did. Um, but I get it, but it still didn't change anything. I was like, I'm still sticking with it. But yeah, she was pretty, I don't know what the right word for it, but she was pretty confused. I think that's maybe the best way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. So hard to see stitches in this fluffy yarn. 7, 8. Now I am making the pinned comment. It is a free pattern of a frog with a good old booty. And I was going to change it to Alan Jackson after the country singer, but now I like your name. Yeah, I think Cammy is great. And I also like it as a nickname. I think it's a great nickname for you. But Alan is great as well. Um, Being named after someone does have. Hey, Crochet, sorry. I am doing well. We're doing a "How well do you know me" questionnaire. So I just talked about why I picked the name Ian, which long story short, I picked it after a character in Shameless, the U.S. version of Shameless, that I just was obsessed with. So yeah. So the next question. Um, I believe I have talked about this quite a few times, but um, I never put all of the pieces together in one like video or something. So I'm not sure if anyone's gonna get this, but how many siblings do I have? So if you can guess that about me, I will be very impressed because that means you've put together pieces from different videos, and I think that that's pretty hard. Not all of the everyday in May questions will be all about me. In fact, I'm really hoping they aren't because I don't think that's probably the most fun thing I could do. However, I did one on crafting yesterday that was really fun. So I was like, oh, we'll just do like more personal questions today just to see how well you know me. And then we're gonna change it up after this. Also, I did mention that someone else is doing, who I can't remember, unfortunately, is doing Amigurumi May, and they're doing amigurumi every day of May. And I was like, that's such a better idea every day in May. But you live and you learn. Maybe next year. Probably not, but maybe next year. Who knows? Okay, so Froggy guessed too. Any other guesses? Three. You have 3 siblings. I'm not sure I knew that. I feel like I knew about 2 for you, Froggy, but did not know that for sure. So thank you for letting me know. Anyone else want to guess or say how many siblings that they have? 3. Okay. Okay. So I'll give Daniel a second to how to think about it. um, yes, Daniel, do you have a guess? Does anyone else have a guess? How many siblings I have? This isn't the most interesting stuff. I know. I just try to do like pretty basic questions. Um, So, sorry, I'm trying to. You think I have 3 brothers or you have 3 brothers? If you have 3 brothers, I absolutely did not know that. And I would have pegged you for an only child. Not in an insulting way, just in the oldest of 2. Okay, I think I knew that maybe you were the oldest, Cammy. but I did not know how many siblings you did have. I think this is something that we don't really talk about. Yeah, so that's why I was like, this might actually be a little difficult. So I have two sisters, one older and one younger. So I am the middle child, and I think I act every bit of it. Because I am the trouble starter for sure. But somebody's got to be, right? Okay, well, that's so cool to learn about you. Okay, so let me go back into um, okay, so Froggy has three. Froggy did guess my number of siblings correctly. Um, Maureen, I don't know if you put, I do. He acts like an only child, doesn't he? I don't know why, I just assumed he was the only one. My older sister is 9 years older than me, and my younger sister is 9 years younger than me. So you don't really see them around because they're all doing their own thing. Middle childs are awesome. I don't know about that. It's a really weird place to be. Okay, so Daniel has three brothers. Again, just would not have guessed that. I don't know what it is about your energy that gives me only child vibes, and it's not in a bad way. I just assumed. Okay, so Cammy is the oldest of two, so you have one sibling. He said no, I do. Okay, and then you have and then you have a sister who's 19 months younger than you. Okay, very cool. Um, I have three girls, and I do have to say that my middle girl is really something special. Yes, and Froggy is oldest. Okay, very cool. Okay, I'm definitely gonna like write something like this down so I can remember. Okay, cool. Well, thank you all for participating in that question. I appreciate it. Okay, so maybe this is easy for you, maybe this is not. What US state do I live in? I think Froggy might have this one. Everyone else, really not sure. Yeah, I figured you would, Froggy. You can leave it a mystery so that other people can guess if they want to. Okay, okay. Okay, now that two people, now that you said it out loud and I could not school my reaction, yes, uh, Daniel, you're right. Froggy, I think you knew, because Froggy lives in Virginia. Virginia is right above North Carolina, so I think it kind of yeah. I figured that Froggy knew because we've had quite a few conversations about it. So so yes, I do live in North Carolina, kind of central North Carolina. I have lived in like southwestern kind of uh, North Carolina in Charlotte for about 7 years, but I moved back to Central North Carolina a couple years ago when your boy was broke as hell, still broke as hell, and still living in the same place. So, yes, that is where I live. Um, and yeah, it's got its pros, it's got its cons. But yep. Okay, so I think this is going to be challenging. I know for a fact I have said it on the channel at least 15 times in my time on YouTube, but it is an unexpected choice. So, what is my favorite movie? Also, I would love to hear what your favorite movie is. Also, because I love watching movies, I love getting recommendations for movies, and sometimes the person and their favorite movie don't line up with expectations, and I love that. I love when you find out someone's favorite movie is something that you would not expect because I would say, like I said, I think mine is not expected. Why does anyone use yarn like this? Seeing stitches is dumb. Okay, get it out there. I'm going to say Beetlejuice. Very good guess. Not correct. Very good guess. I have a lot of Beetlejuice clothing. I do love that movie quite a bit. Um, Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Adam's Family, also an amazing, amazing guess, but not it. Now, again, that comes very close. You're all just pegging me down, for sure. Yeah, like I said, it is not expected. I would be willing to bet, unless you've heard me say my favorite movie, you would not guess it. Um, I'll give you another little hint. It is a classic movie. It's a classic movie. Like, iconic in every sense of the word, classic in both timeline and one of those movies you constantly go back and watch again and again. Um, it has your new favorite movie is Alien. I still haven't watched it, and I feel really sad that I have not watched Alien, because I've watched some of the Predator movies, but I want to watch some of the Alien versus Predator movies, and I feel like you can't watch that unless you have the storyline behind Alien. So for a while, I was too scared to watch it, but I think I'm prepared now. Alien's a good movie. For some reason, I thought Daniel wrote that, but that is good. Frankenstein, great guess, Amy. Not it. That is a classic. Um, it is a classic for sure. It's a Wonderful Life. That movie is so depressing. That movie is so depressing. I like the movie, but I can't watch it without taking like a, a full dosage of antidepressants. It's just so fucking sad. Wizard of Oz, another excellent guess, iconic, certainly. Um, Final hint before I release it, because like I said, I could just go on, and I don't think anyone would guess it. But it has, so I have, if you don't know, I have two. Labyrinth. I think I just didn't watch it at the right time in my life, and people really hyped it up. So when I watched it, I was like, "The fuck is this? And why can you see his balls?" Like, you know, I just was like, "This is a kids movie, and he's not wearing a dance belt." um, but yeah, so I think I missed the boat on that one. So I have two celebrity grandmas, as I call them. They're people that I just want to be my grandmas. In addition to the grandmas I had, because they were great. Well, I only met one of them, but I heard the other one was great. Um, so one of my celebrity grandmothers is Betty White. Makes sense, right? Just I think with things and her being iconic. And then I have another celebrity grandmother who is still alive, who is a queen. If you can't guess it, it's okay. Don't feel bad. I this whole thing is not to make people feel bad, which I don't think anyone was going to feel bad after watching this. I think they would just be like, I don't care. I'm out of juice. Well, this is water. When I said juice, I don't know, but I do have more coffee. And it's before 5. I'm drooling. And it's before 5. Birdcage is so good. I didn't watch that until I was like, I think early 20s, and I was like, why did I not watch this? Um, okay, my favorite movie of all time is Sound of Music. This is shocking for multiple reasons. One, it's a classic movie. Most people pick more modern movies and stuff like that. Second, Julie Andrews is my other celebrity grandmother, because like she's so iconic. She's so fierce. Why would I not love her? I did drop an extra unintended hint that she is a queen. She was queen in the Princess Diaries. I didn't mean for that to be an actual hint, so don't take it if you didn't grab that one, because I didn't mean to throw it out. She's so elegant. She's so poised. She's so fierce. Love her so much, so much. But yes, Sound of Music. And also, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of musicals, so you might be like, well, it can't be a musical because Ian doesn't really like a lot of musicals. You would be wrong on this one. Sound of Music is my favorite by far. I love that movie. So if you didn't guess that, which nobody did, because it's pretty out there, and I think when you see all of this, you would not assume that my favorite movie is Sound of Music, but you would be wrong. I love that shit. I know every word, and I watch it very frequently. A close second is Star Trek Wrath of Khan. I watched that movie. Uh, I haven't watched it in like maybe 6 months, but I used to watch it like about every month. I love Star Trek. Most of us know that. Okay, so what is my favorite band of all time? Now, I do have a shirt or two or three or something like that of this band. Um, I'm talking big picture. Now, what is your favorite band or your favorite movie? Daniel. I feel like I should know this, and I feel like I don't know. And in the category of band, you can pick solo artists, you can pick any musical artist. Marilyn Manson, I did like some of his music, but he is actually a terrible person. So even if he was on my list, I would dump him out because terrible person. At least in what has been reported and what makes a lot of sense. I've got no tolerance for abusers. So, and I'm talking all time because the next question is what's my favorite modern band, which I think is going to be a lot easier. He's horrid. Okay, I'm glad we can all agree. I felt like really way out on an island saying that out loud because like I love like the vibe and the music he's put out. Your favorite movie? I should know this. I want to say it's It. Is it It? Or am I like just totally in the wrong direction? If it's not It and it's not a horror movie, give me some clues. I'm having fun guessing. This is super fun. I like Disturbed lately. Yeah, Disturbed is like just like chronically good. Like they're just good and seems like the lead singer, pretty solid guy. Right Lines, it is horror. Dan loves Saw. I've only seen Saw 1. I enjoyed the hell out of it and had Carrie Hughes, and he's amazing. So I want to watch more of them. But yeah, there was a part like right at the beginning of Saw 1 where I was just like, oh, you're yeah, okay, yep, Saw. Okay, no, you mentioned Saw a lot. I should have known that. Honestly, that's my bad. That's my bad. That's me being a bad friend. I apologize. How did I not? How did I not get that? I don't know. And you talk about Saw all the time. I remember when Saw, what, 5 came out, you were really excited about it. That's my bad. That's my bad. I damn it. But yeah, everyone tell me what your favorite movies are, your favorite bands, all-time favorite band. Can you guess mine? I purposely did not wear one of the shirts I have that has the band on it because I felt like that would just be too, you know, too much of a like, well, clearly. So I'm just wearing an X Files shirt instead. Look, it says trust no one. Isn't that so good? It's a smoking man. I saw it. I was like, I need it. I think I got this at a convention. I think so, or maybe like Hot Topic. Probably not Hot Topic. Maybe like Spencer's, but probably a convention. Who knows? Froggy, you showed me that I fucked up, and I appreciate that. Okay, I'll give one more. I can't even think what your favorite band is. Um, so one hint is that I share a favorite band with a very famous crochet YouTuber. If you know this crochet YouTuber, you know that the answer is already. Yeah, it was really hard. I tried to pick questions that I could actually answer, but if there were other answers that I was like, yeah, that's great too. Like with the movies, I'm like, you all suggested great movies. Great movies. Yep, Queen. Yes, Crystal from Bag of Day and I, both of our favorite bands are Queen. Um, I love Freddie Mercury. I love the vibe. I love their music. It never ceases to just brighten my day. Queen, damn it. One of my next tattoos. I am thinking about getting a Watchmen tattoo from from the graphic novel slash movie. Um, but my one of my next tattoos, I want to get. If you've seen the Queen music video for "I Want to Break Free," which if you haven't, what are you doing? But the whole band is in drag, and iconically, Freddie Mercury is too in drag, and he's like vacuuming, and I want to get like a silhouette of him vacuuming on my forearm. I think that would be so cool. I'm so excited for that. My plan for my this sleeve is to just do a bunch of different albums and like album art, song lyrics, less song lyrics because those I feel like can get really muddy over time, or just images or artwork inspired by a song, things like that from all of my favorite albums and bands and everything. And so for Queen, I really want to get the I Want to Break Free, which is my favorite Queen song, I think. Is That's a hard one. Don't ask me my favorite Queen song. I don't know, but it is one of my favorite songs for sure. And I want to get him a silhouette of him like vacuuming, maybe like a black and white like silhouette where you can still see like where his skin would be, and that would be like white but outlined or clear or no ink but outlined, and then him vacuuming. I just think that would be so freaking cool. Yes, it is Queen. If you know, which first of all, if you watch Bag of Day and you don't know that Crystal's obsessed with Queen, I don't know what you're doing. So I figured that that clue would be the ultimate. And when we think of famous crochet people on YouTube, Crystal is the person. I gotta hurry up because I gotta get off in like 20 minutes for more therapy. So yes, so I figured that that would be the ultimate hint. Okay, so now I have a bunch of shirts of this next band. So this is my favorite modern band. This is a band that the last 10, 15 years they've been together, released albums. I always listen to the albums. I stopped listening to them for a little while, like 10 years ago, but then I got back on the train, and ever since then I've been just listening to everything that they've put out. I love this band. So if you can guess it, I won't give any more hints, but if you can't guess it, I do have more hints. So can anyone guess? I know if Winter was here, they would guess it. It's basically the only modern band I ever talk about. And again, my like modern is just they're still putting out music, they're still touring, all that stuff. Also, what do you all have any favorite bands that you just like love? Anytime you hear them, it's the right time. They always get you in a good mood or in the mood that you're going for. Froggy, you said Disturbed, which Disturbed can do it. And honestly, their covers are so good too. Hey Jed, welcome in. We are um we are doing some questions. It is in the all the questions are in the description. If you want to try to guess, well, once this video is over and watch the beginning of the replay, you're welcome to. I do answer the questions in the video, so if you wanted to try to give it a go, you're welcome to. If you don't, that's okay. I just answered what is my favorite band, like all-time favorite band, and and it's Queen. It's Queen. It's always been Queen. Maybe the Beatles snuck in there for a little bit, but I have gotten a little tired of the Beatles. But I always come back to Queen. Even then, like Queen was always the one. Okay, so no idea. Okay, so if you follow me on Instagram or you just watch me here, you know that I recently went to their concert, like very recently, within the past month or so. Actually, I think it was in April, maybe it was in March, I don't know. So that's a hint. But if you don't, still can't guess, totally fine. You all aren't, you know, everyone has a life. And so you're not owed to like know everything about my life. That's totally okay. But if you do know this, you will maybe get some brownie points because I listen to this band every night. This is my like all time, like anytime, any mood, will listen to this band. I listen to a lot of Queen, um, but I also listen to a lot of this band. So if you can't guess, that's okay. But constantly listening to this band. It feels like they have controlled my life. Even my wife thought that this band was my all-time favorite band, not Queen. So that will show you, you know, how much I listen to them and how much I constantly buy their albums. There we go. Daniel got it. Fall Out Boy. Yes, it is Fall Out Boy. I'm just a huge fan. I love their music, and they sound so good. Like, so good. This new album, maybe not my favorite, but definitely not the worst album. But their album before, Mania, I just felt like summed up my whole life in existence. So, great band. Highly recommend. If you haven't heard some of their newer stuff, I think you would be really surprised that they sound so different from when you might have heard them last if you don't listen to them often. Okay, and so this is a weird question, and you can name any number of things for this question. Hey, Darla, welcome in. So we're doing questions. If you've missed the rest of the stream, that's totally fine. Um, but I did list some questions in the description, just a couple questions to see how well you all know me. So if you want to watch the replay, you can guess before that I reveal the answer, and that's totally fine. Or you can just not do that if you don't want to. I personally hate watching replays. It just strains the life out of me. So do whatever you want. I'm not the boss of you. So we're on the last question. We just answered what's my favorite modern band, and that is Fall Out Boy. I wear Fall Out Boy shirts pretty frequently, but now that I'm thinking about it, you might have not seen all of them because some of them are still packed up from when we moved. So maybe that makes more sense. But I talk about them a lot. And I just went to see them in concert again. Probably like the fourth, fifth, something like that time I saw them in concert. Pretty much the only band that will get me out of my house to go to a concert these days, which is sad. That makes it more sad. But concerts are expensive, y'all. Everybody knows that. Okay, so the last question, and any answer is totally okay for this. The last question is, what are two of my favorite things about streaming on YouTube? That could even be extended to just being on social media. So two of my favorite things. I've just picked two because there are two that are way outweigh all of the other ones. And if you stream or you just go on YouTube like you all are, I'm calling you out, you're on YouTube. Bam. What are your favorite things about being on YouTube? I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Are just like, I have successfully done 2 rows of the frog pattern that I pinned to the top. It is a frog with a little butt. Yes, the community, making new friends, those are like, that is definitely one of my favorite things. I love you all. You are part of my family. I really consider you all just a great support system, great friends. And I know that you all have my back. So I, you were all correct on one of the things. The other one is could not be confused for the community answer, I guess. So maybe that's part of how I want to say it, but I don't know how to say it otherwise. I I I've mentioned it in some streams, but I know I've done a TikTok video that may have also gone been a Instagram video about something that I really enjoy. And a little hint, a lot of people, if not most people, do not enjoy this fact of YouTube. Look how big my forehead looks because I drew my eyebrows on really straight. It looks giant, right? Maybe it's just because I contoured here and here until we look elevated, but who cares? Dudes with big foreheads, not the craziest thing we've ever seen. Even though I have really small features and small head in general. So, any guesses? Myself all the time. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Oh my gosh. I do feel bad that I was the one to teach you, because I think that's something that everyone should experience all the time. Being yourself is the best thing you can be. And, yes, we all have pros and cons to our personalities, to our communication styles, whatnot. But, I'm glad that I could help you along that journey. I'm sure you would have gotten there eventually, but thank you. That's actually super, super, super powerful. And I really appreciate that. Okay. Well, so most people do not like this aspect of YouTube specifically, but social media in general. Trolls. I love trolls. And I love when they come on a live stream and try to step to me, because I was always taught to step back. I like step towards them. I never back down from something like that. And granted, if someone's coming from a place of like total being an asshole, and I don't think that we can have a conversation, like, first of all, I'll make fun of them because that's hilarious. But then oh, well, thank you, Darla. But I'm glad you are getting there, if have gotten there. That's amazing. That's an incredible gift that you have. So that's fantastic. And just finding your tribe, I feel like that makes it so much easier to be yourself in. It's like when I first started YouTube, I was trying to fit in with everyone else I was following. And then finally, I was just like, this isn't really me. And it was part of that coming back to YouTube and trying to rebuild YouTube, where I was like, nah, I'm not going to try to be like anybody else. I'm just going to be myself. And so the fact that that has impacted or changed or helped anybody is incredible, because I just was trying to be myself, and it wasn't about, anything else, but the fact that that helped makes me feel great. So thank you so much. I'm going to take that into therapy. I help someone. But yeah, I do love trolls. And also I love educating people, that are ignorant but are willing to have a conversation and learn. And maybe we still end up on opposite sides of the fences, but if they can create a more if they can get out of the shadow of ignorance and learn more, maybe they are lashing out because they don't know anything about. A big thing lately is being trans, right? And so like they don't know anything about being trans. They've never really talked to a trans person. So they come on here and they try to lash out at me for being trans, and I'm like, yeah, hold up, you actually don't know anything about me or being trans. So let's have a conversation. If they want to have that conversation, I love that because it turns a troll into someone that, you know, you can have a conversation with and stuff like that. But if someone comes in and they're just spouting stupid shit, love that. Now, I do draw the line at hate speech. I do not like that. I will never like that. I will never condone it. And that shit isn't on my channel for a reason. I will delete you. I will boot you faster than you can say any kind of slur that you want to say. So that's where I do draw the line. But it's fun for me when people come in with a bad attitude and try to say stuff to me because you step to me, well, I will step the fuck back. And I don't give a shit. Like, what are you gonna do? Be mad at me for being me again? Oh wait, you're already doing that. So I get really excited just talking about it. It doesn't happen often. A couple months ago, I had just like a swoop of trolls come in. I guess it was like a bad raid or something. I don't know, whatever it's called. Like one douchebag said to his other douchebag friends, like, "Oh, go troll on this person." Oh, very cool. Whack-a-troll. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that so much. Now I'm gonna have to use that. I'm stealing that. So, uh, yeah. So, I do love trolls quite a bit because I just don't really care. Like, if you weren't gonna like me from the get-go, now you've given me permission to say whatever I want, and you still won't like me. Okay. But I mean, there are trolls that can come in and they can be painful and not great to deal with. But overall, you know, if I can get an excuse to be a big old bitch, why would I not take it? Come on. Come on. I think of every possible insult I possibly can. Sometimes they do take me by surprise. Like, I think someone's coming in and they're going to be cool. And then they start being a troll. And I'm like, why was I nice to you 5 seconds ago? Well, I'm showing that I'm very classy. I'm a very classy man. And then you are come in and be a troll, and I'm like, fuck off. But yes, so thank you for playing this wonderful game. Let me see what we have for our next one. These 2 days were the get to know me ones, but the let's see, the let's see, sorry, I have like 6 days already, so I can't remember what I've done. Okay, so day 3 is what I wish I knew when I started crocheting. It has been really fun. Thank you all for hanging out with me. So tomorrow we are going to be on at 4 p.m. again, so same time as today. And on the weekend, we're going to do 2 p.m. Just to have it a little bit earlier in the day. So May 3rd, we're going to do what I wish I knew when I started crocheting. I would love to hear what other people have to say about this, because you might know something or wish you knew at the beginning that I don't even know now. And I am a sponge soaking up your amazing information. May 4th, we are going to do some of our favorite space-themed patterns. So if you're going to show up, I would love, because it's May the 4th, be with you. So anything space-related, doesn't have to be Star Wars related, but just anything space-related would be awesome. Free patterns are ideal, but if they're paid and they're worth it, feel free to share those. I would love to see what you all have. I've got some patterns that I'm really into right now. And then May 5th, or Cinco de Mayo, I wanted to say what are some of our favorite either crochet patterns or themes, or types of fiber arts from other cultures. I didn't want to just focus on Mexican culture because personally I don't celebrate, I mean, Cinco de Mayo because um, my own reasons, but also it's a culture that I'm not fully immersed in. I just don't know anything about it. So I thought that would be a good day to just talk about all cultures and all the contributions towards fiber arts that all cultures all over the world and throughout history have created in the fiber arts community. Fun? Maybe we'll see. And I want to. There's one type of I don't think it's crochet. I think it's weaving. I'm not sure, but it is so amazing, and I've got to find it again. Because I could do it, but it would be like culture appropriation to sell it. And I was like, it looks so damn cool. And then the 6th, so on Monday, back to 4 p.m., we are going to be designing our ideal dream magical amazing yarn. And there's a couple different categories we can go into, like value yarn, more expensive yarn, like patterns, colors, anything like that. We'll just design some dream yarn, because if you're like me and you're constantly looking for that perfect yarn that summarizes what you want in a yarn and you can never find it, it's so frustrating. So I would love to hear what you all have to say about that, and what does your dream yarn look like? So that's all I have planned so far. And yeah, so thank you for hanging out, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Who's not talking like all this? Good, yeah. I mean, not getting physical, but I mean, we've got to do what we've got to do to protect our own, right? Okay, I love you.